Hey guys, welcome back to the Southern Beer Review. It's John and William again, and it's been a while since we've been able to post some content, but as the school year winds down, we ought to be able to put a little more on for you guys. So we are starting today in my side yard, our second porch series. If you remember, we did Creature Comforts
Athens, Georgia.
out of Athens at the lake a few months ago. And so John found us a Sam Adams summer pack. And interestingly, real quick, you might be wondering, why is the Southern Beer Review doing a Sam Adams beer? We're just trying to stretch the boundaries a little bit and give everybody their due. And something interesting about Sam Adams, when John and I were in Asheville a couple of years ago, we asked a bartender, what's the amount of beer that you can produce quantity-wise and still be called a craft brewery? And the guy said, whatever Sam Adams produces every year. Because I think it'd be fair to say that Sam Adams was like a trailblazer as far as craft beer goes back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of the measuring stick. I think Sam Adams does one of the best jobs of quantity but still maintaining quality.
I agree with that.
And this is beer number one.
Yeah, so this is the first one we're going to do from the sampler pack, and this is called the Porch Rocker. It's a lemon Radler. And so, interestingly enough, I didn't know this, just learned this from the back of the bottle, that this was actually inspired by German cyclists who would mix their beer with lemon lime flavors. So this is a sort of classic Hell's beer that they've mixed with some lemon lime flavors. And so it comes in about 4.5%. I will say right out of the way, we just poured these.
Yeah.
The head is completely dissipated already. Right. I don't know if that's normal for this style or not, but it's kind of interesting.
And I don't know if it's the cold glass out here in the humidity of an Alabama May.
There's no telling.
By the way, a Radler, by the way, is 2 parts beer, 1 part lemonade. And I am an absolute softie for lemon flavored beers as long as it's not overwhelming. So we'll give it a shot.
All right, here we go.
That's it's pretty crisp and refreshing. I mean, the lemon comes through. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Big time. It's almost like
I don't know, and you may have a different opinion on this, William, but I'm getting the lemon taste a little artificial tasting to me.
Right.
I'm not sure I like that about it. It's almost like I can separate this drink. I can taste the beer side and I can taste the lemon lime side.
Right.
And the lemon lime side doesn't seem natural.
Right.
And the beer side tastes good, but I'm not a fan of the lemon lime side. Maybe it's either too strong for me or it's too artificial tasting, but I'm not a huge fan right off the bat.
In my experience with these, I guess, fruit flavored, not sours, but beers that are fused with fruit flavors, it's pretty hard to create a beer that has what John's talking about, like the natural flavors, and one that's not overwhelmingly through the roof, like you're drinking a fruit punch or something.
And this is still, I mean, this is good. Like, it's not an overwhelming kind of like, oh my gosh, this just tastes too lemony, limey. But what is there just doesn't. I don't know. There's, you know how sometimes something just tastes artificial to you. I'm just getting sort of an artificial quality. It's almost got like a little bitter note to it that I just don't find super pleasing. I was hoping for maybe a sweeter note at the end of that.
Right, and listen, I think when breweries brew beers like this, they're trying to reach an audience that just kind of wants
an easy to drink beer.
Easy to drink, that in the summertime, like on days like today when it's hot.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's just this one to me, it's not something I would probably go to.
Right.
And very often.
Right, and I think on another level altogether, I think you kind of got to hand it to some of these big companies like Sam Adams, Sierra Nevada. In the craft beer movement of the last decade or two, they've kind of gone out of their way to at least, and Sierra Nevada may not be a good example, but like Sam Adams makes an IPA and makes all the other stuff, so they're branching out a little bit at least to keep up with the craft beer scene.
Yeah, and also a company like Samuel Adams, they're trying to draw in people who aren't normal craft beer drinkers too. So they're going to, try some things like this. Having said all that, I mean, like, I've definitely tasted worse. I don't hate it, and I would drink it if somebody offered one to me. but it's a little bit. I mean, like my first thought was it tastes a little bit like a sparkling water
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
That's a little bit funky.
Sure, yeah, I get that for sure. All right, well, before we do our rating, once again, we are doing a porch series on the Samuel Adams Summer Pack, and obviously those guys are based up in Massachusetts. And this is the Porch Rocker Lemon Radler, which is one of 4 that
Yeah,
came in
it's
the,
the
in the
first of
series.
4. We decided to try to start with the lightest one first.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
yeah, I'll start. I've probably been the most critical. I'm gonna go 5. I mean, it's drinkable,
Right.
and I wouldn't drain pour it or anything like that. But it's just not something I would probably seek out or go back to.
I started enjoying lemon shandies, I guess, several years ago when my brother-in-law, who lives up in Iowa, introduced me to a brewery. I think they're from Wisconsin, called Leinenkugel's, and they make a summer shandy that I really like. So I've really developed a taste for these, but I'm with John. It's not through the roof. I'll go a little bit higher though. I'll give it a 7 because I think it's easy to drink, and while I think John's right on the money with the lemon flavor being a little artificial, I like the lemon fused flavor. So again, 6, not bad. But
That's
again,
not bad. Yep.
but again, that was my phone. Sorry. But again, in a summer pack, you get 3 of these, and you get 3 more styles of
Yeah.
3 each, so you can share them around. So
And this
anyway,
is just a great example of if so much of our tasting. I mean, we agree on a lot. I mean, we've been drinking beer together for a long time, and we tend to have similar taste. But no 2 people are going to taste the beer the same way.
Right.
And so just because we dislike a beer or one of us dislikes a beer, try it yourself. But just you'll learn our taste too, is if you follow along. So you might say, oh, my taste tends to be more like theirs, or maybe you have different tastes than us. So.
and if you pick up a pack, take the time to look on the box and see what you're getting. There are IPA packs, there are summer packs. So anyway, all right. So the Porch Rocker from Samuel Adams, the Lemon Radler, comes in at a 6, average between the 2. And again, this is beer number 1 in what will eventually be 4 from the Sam Adams series.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks for viewing. See you next time.
So yeah.